Hey, everybody, and welcome to our show. It's called Tournament Horse Racing. I'll be your host for tonight's show. My name is Rich Sharp. Here's what we've done. We've taken the horse racing calendar, we've broken it up into four separate individual tournaments throughout the year. Each of those tournaments consists of approximately 10 individual racing days, and that's what you're watching tonight. It's one of those individual racing days. What we do is on those individual racing days, we take four selected races from that track and we just compete with each other. Each of our players makes a mythological $2 win place bet. Whoever wins the most money for that particular racing day wins that racing day. We actually keep track of those racing days all the way throughout the tournament for those 10 racing days. Whoever wins the most money throughout the tournament wins that tournament. We keep track throughout the entire year. We even have a year-end champion. That's how it works here on Tournament Horse Racing. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in the horse racing analysts, the players, if you like, in no particular order, just a little bit to the south of me. He's a good friend of mine. Joe English, how's life been treating you, my friend?
I guess no complaints, Rich. How about you guys? How's everything on your
Yeah, I can't
end?
complain. Just,
Mhm.
life and work.
Cool. Yeah.
Staying in California, just a little bit to the north of me, also a good friend of mine, another one of our horse players for tonight. His name is Steve Newsom. Steve, what's new and exciting in your world? But
Not a whole lot. Just staying busy with work, kids, and my new vegetable garden.
oh, cool, cool. Oh, nice, a vegetable garden.
I
All
want some.
right.
I want some. You got any tomatoes in there? I want some.
Not yet, not yet.
Oh, okay.
The tomato plants are probably about 2 feet tall now.
Okay.
All right, last but not least,
Uh,
I'm going to swing all the way over onto the other side of the country. He's actually over in that Belmont Stakes neighborhood in Staten Island, New York. Ray Torado. Haven't talked to you in a little while, man. How you been?
Yes, how you guys doing? Steve, you gotta grow some of those gagoots. You know, they get really tall.
Good gooch.
What the hell's a
Gagoots, you
goose?
call them. I don't know. The Italians grow them, and they're like really tall. They're just, I don't know. Look for them. They're
Yeah,
pretty
I'll have to
cool.
look that one up on my
Um,
fucking Wagnall or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
gagoots.
well,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll have to
Good
find that
I'm
one
gooch.
doing
somewhere
good.
else.
June's
yeah.
gonna present for me two graduations, a prom, seniors award night. Yeah, we're busy. I even got an award last week for USBC League Officer of the Year. So,
Nice, nice. Look at
Well,
you. That's busy
yeah, as
June
a
for you.
bowling president, I got recognized by the Staten Island USBC. So we're doing good. It's chucking along. But yeah, the graduation is gonna be fun. Yeah, my daughter, my son too. So
oh yeah,
yep.
I had a graduation
I
in
was
my
gonna say, I know
You got
Steve
one
had
too?
a
my
Yeah,
daughter
graduation
yeah,
this
my daughter
time.
graduated
yeah. High
college.
school and grammar school. Yeah. So
All right,
yep.
folks, just a reminder or a disclaimer, if you like, before we get started with our tournament tonight. So, Steve, Ray, Joe, and myself, we're all horse players. We love the game of horse racing, as you can tell. We are not selling our picks or soliciting endorsements for our picks at all. We're just four horse players who really love the game of horse racing. We really hope you do too. And with that, we hope you enjoy our little show that we're going to put together tonight. Again, it's called Tournament Horse Racing. And tonight we're heading out to Louisiana. I believe I looked it up. It's in St. Landry Parish. So Evangeline Downs is on track for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. And when I do, I'll go ahead and I'll start with, well, as you want, I can start with the weather that's there in St. Landry Parish, or the
Whoa,
expected
hot.
weather. Yeah, look at that. 90 degrees. There is a 33% chance of rain. I would imagine those are thunderstorms with that kind of heat there down there in Louisiana, but it does rain quite a bit. You see 58% humidity, so going to be a hot one, as Ray just said.
Hmm.
I will take a look at. We haven't been on now for a couple of weeks, so no fault of anybody's here. We just had a couple of weeks in a row following the Kentucky Derby, so we haven't been together. Uh, we do keep the tournament going, however, so there have been picks that have been shared. But the last time that we would have been going would have been for that little race that's up there in Baltimore, Maryland, called, I think it's called the Preakness, something like that, the second leg of the Triple Crown. Actually went to a California horse that was called National Treasure, won the Preakness. But as you see there, Steve was the winner of Preakness Day here on Tournament Horse Racing. Put up a total of $24.60. Nosed out Joe and myself there. And I will show you what it looks like so far for the summary of quarter number one. And as you see, we only measure the dollar amount. So if you see the wins that are over on the side, that's only in the event that we actually end up in an exact tie at the end of the quarter, at the end of the tournament. In this case, Steve has nosed ahead by just about $15 as we move into well, a race track that actually has a little bit of a spot that's near and dear to my heart because Evangeline Downs last year was where I started a really good run here on tournament horse racing. It took me through the end of the year. I ended up winning last year's tournament, and I did kind of place it back to when I won at Evangeline Downs that kind of keyed my victory. So I'm kind of looking forward to see that track. Congratulations to Steve. As you can see, we're about halfway through. Next week, we're going to Belmont Park for the Belmont Stakes, and then we'll finish up over on the East Coast as we go to New Jersey and then back to Belmont, and the last race is going to be at Churchill Downs. All right, got
Rich,
the weather.
just so that everybody knows, it was reported today that Churchill Downs actually is not going to race past this weekend. They're moving all those races park because of the horse death that they've had over the first part of the Churchill Downs meet. So it may be like one of those situations where it was Belmont at Aqueduct, so it's going to be Churchill at Ellis, just so that everybody's aware. I know it's down the road.
Could be. So we might actually have to switch that to Ellis Park, which we've never covered here before the show, or we might pull up for
Oh,
maybe an emergency tournament horse racing here. We'll see how that plays out for us. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Emerald Downs. We're actually going to start with race number 7, as you say, that's on our template that we keep track of. Race number 7 is starting at post time of. Am I reading that correctly? Is that 9:13 Eastern time?
Yep,
yeah,
that's correct.
yeah.
Yeah, for those of you here on the West Coast, at least it's 6:13, so you've got all day long, I guess, to wait there down there in St. Landry's Parish in Louisiana. We're going to start off with race number 7, going 1 mile on the main surface. It is the Louisiana Legends Cheval Stakes. Purse is $100,000. It is for accredited Louisiana-bred 3-year-olds only, and your morning line favorite is in post number 8, and I believe that's All Right Moonlight, trained by David Terry and ridden by Timothy Thornton. 2-1 there on the Evangeline Downs morning line. And Steve, since you're in first place right now, go ahead and kick it off for us. Why don't you go ahead and go first? We'll actually go Steve, Ray, Joe, and I'll bring up the rear.
I'm going to go all the way to the inside and take the 1, Cajun Karma. Horses 1-0-1 at Evangeline Downs. Won his last race here. It's a nice steady progression on speed numbers, so it's kind of what I'm going off of here. And at 8-1, should be competitive. And yeah, so I'm going to go with the 1, Cajun Karma.
All right.
I'm handing off to you.
You're handing off to Ray.
All right, Ray.
All right, I'm amazed by these Louisiana buds. It's not often we get to handicap them.
No, it's
Pretty
once a
fun.
year,
But
or
yeah,
twice, or twice a year maybe.
uh-huh. Oh yeah, yeah. But well, I don't know, I was looking for a little horse who might be a little forwardly paced. So I went with number 6, Macho Beanie. He's out of Mucho Macho Man. It was a horse that we handicapped before.
Oh heck yeah!
And he raced in a stake race last time, 7 furlongs. He's stretching out to a mile, so I think he could probably handle the distance. He looks like he's gonna be fully placed, second, third, and he has been moving up, late in the race. So I'm confident he'll get the mile, and he had a sharp workout last time, so he seems to be going forward. He's 2 out of 4 with a second, and we have one of those 3-year-old geldings, so we'll probably see him for another 7 years
Yeah, right. That's
racing.
a good point.
You know, you got a pretty good jockey, C.J. McMahon, got good percentages, 16% for the year. So, his figures have been going up. So, I'll take a shot. And, a horse that Drew used to ride. So, Florian Drew don't,
Yeah, I saw
if
that as
he was
well.
on him, he's got to be, some sort of set talent. So, 9-2, decent price for me. So, Mucho Beanie for me. Joe?
I'm taking one of the speed horses. Not sure. I mean, I don't know how the humidity and the
Macho Beanie.
everybody out there, but I'm taking the 4. Calabachoa Kid is what I'm calling, at least the first part of it.
Let me get that.
it seems like the horses since they've moved to the back to the old jockey Jose Guerrero. This horse has won, the second in an open allowance race at Evangeline Downs two back, and ended up winning the state bred allowance race last time. And his figures the buyer figures have increased by like five or six lengths. But once that switch was made, and he dropped back down in class, so he looks like he's a little bit of a different horse. He's going to have to deal with the 8, who's got some speed also. But being that he's on the inside, this track has a pretty short run to the first turn. I think he's going to have some advantage over the 8 on the outside, and of course he's going to be a little bit better priced. So I went with the 4, Calabachoa Kid, in the first leg of the pick 4. Rich.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough day. So for those of you who ever see me handicap, I usually go with a lot of connections-based prices. I really don't know who Scott Geiner is. I'm not real familiar with CJ McMahon. I have heard the name before. They do hit together at 25%. I found myself in a lot of these races today, gentlemen, as I was handicapping and things like that. I ended up just kind of, well, for lack of a better word, where Ray already caught it. I just kind of ran home to daddy. I can't pick trainers and I can't pick jockeys. I don't even know the ownership groups and stuff like that. But I do know sires, and there were actually only 2 sires that I knew in this race, and one of them wasn't Calabrachoa, Joe. There was just Mucho Macho Man and the horse that's just a little bit to the inside of him, which is Star Guitar, Z's guitar. And I actually thought about going with a couple of Star Guitars down there. I used to really love that horse as well. In this case, I did stick with Mucho Macho Man for all the same reasons that Ray already gave us. So I am on the 6.
At this point, for me, there's no reason to deal with sires unless the horse hasn't done something before. Meaning, like if they're going from sprinting to going the long distance, going from turf to dirt, something that they haven't done before. My horse has run 6 times already. I pretty much know, and he's run 2 times. I don't know the sire either, to be honest with you, Rich.
Yeah,
I
Like,
remember
I like the
clearly
game.
now.
I've never heard of that sire either.
yeah. And again,
Clearly now I remember.
yeah, I noticed that in a lot of these races. There were quite a few of them. On occasion, there were horses whose names did pop up that I was like, oh, I know that horse.
Course
So,
Vision. I remember him.
yeah, yeah, a couple there. All right, we are moving along. We are into race number 8. This is also going a mile on the main track. It is the Louisiana Legends Soiree Stakes. Purse is $100,000. It's for accredited Louisiana bred fillies, 3-year-olds only. And your morning line favorite is in post number 9. Speaking of Star Guitar, here you go. Here's Star Moment. Out there in post number 9. This one is trained by a trainer that I do know. That's Brett Calhoun and ridden by Timothy Thornton. And Star Moment is 5-2 on the Evangeline Downs morning line. And Ray, you're going to kick us off.
In this race, I went for horse on audience. This is an angle I'm kind of using. This horse never run in the dirt, so it went from synthetic to turf. Now she's on the dirt. So, 6th anniversary, number 2. Emmanuel Nieves, he's a decent jockey. Looks like he's 14%, so he's probably in the mid pack. Once again, the figures have been going up. The Bushnell figures. She's been, close, second, first. She won the claiming race, and she has 2 races this year on the turf. Now they're going back to the dirt. So this is you know, trainer trying something just to get this horse running. Maybe I mean, based on the workouts of they're not so bad. So on the dirt, so I guess she'll handle the dirt. So 6-1, decent price. Won't be. I don't think she'll be played that much. Because mid-range jockey and trainer with limited starts and so. But maybe the price will go up and this horse will give me a good run. So 6th anniversary for all you people who got married within 20 what 16 17.
No,
You can
2017, I
celebrate your
think.
6th
Yeah,
anniversary. But what the hell. Um Joe,
I feel like I've celebrated my 6th anniversary a few
how many
times.
times?
Probably about 20 of them, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm on the horse on the inside. I'll take the horse right at the 6th anniversary. One highly wicked. This is sire we all know, Get Strong from the Triple Crown Trail a while back. He actually one advantage in here is that it doesn't look like there's really much speed that's going to keep him off the front end. He drew the rail again, short run of the first turn. He's got the inside post. He's got the speed. So if he breaks well, he should be on top. She should be on top, excuse me. And she actually won an open turf race, an open allowance last time out.
Mhm.
She had never tried turf before. That to me, I really enjoy. I like that. She improved on that a different surface, went to the lead, never looked back, and won really easily, which kind of surprised me, wondering why she's not running in a turf race. But the horse has been working on dirt. She has to work last time. Her last work was May 19th over this surface in 101 and 4. Not bad, obviously, at all. Best of 16 at the distance. So and again, she's going to a new jockey, Jose Rodriguez, who actually, 12.9, 13% at the meet. So I'm going to take, like I said, I'm going to take speed advantage and the inside post on a horse who's getting better and actually broke her maiden, going a mile and 70 yards at the fairgrounds on the dirt 3 starts back. So give me Highly Wicked in leg 2. And we all love leg 2, don't we? Rich.
Yeah.
No, like so.
Love
Bounce leg.
love leg 2, and and I'm doing the same thing I did in the last race. I'm going right after Joe, and I've got the exact same horse as Joe, for a lot of the same reasons. This one, unfortunately, this race, I did know the sires. This race is actually loaded with sires whose names we know. Ray picked one that was by Sky Mesa and Tapiture's down there. There's a whole bunch of them. The Cloud Computing I saw in there as well. Wicked Strong was the one that caught my eye initially, not just because of the sire's name, but because of the speed figures. I thought the same thing as Joe. Didn't look like there was a whole lot of early speed in this particular race. Once upon a time, not too long ago in February 23, this horse actually broke her maiden by winning a race by 21 lengths. I kind of highlighted that one down there. And then Joe caught it as well. She came back that last race. That's against open company, so she's going against Louisiana State Breds today. But again, that's open company that she actually won that race against the turf, and they put her right back here on the dirt. I think that's a lot of confidence. Again, not real familiar with the trainers or the jockeys or their combinations. Normally, things that I like to look at. I do not know who Earl Hernandez and Keith Hernandez and who that ownership group is, but I do remember Wicked Strong very well. So I've also got the one, and I hand it off to Steve.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the favorite 9-star Moment. Horses won its last 2 races. Jockey trainer combination. Although probably the two races that the horses won. Oh wait, no, maybe not. Maybe just one of them. Those 2 races. So,
Little stakes races.
yeah. Horses had a nice 4 furlong workout last week or earlier in the week.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the favorite on this one, Star Moment.
Yeah, but not a bad price for a morning line fair. That's 5-2.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I can't believe nobody picked Strawberry Sunday.
There was another horse in that I like that.
For your ice cream lovers.
Yeah.
And maybe if there was a hot fudge or something, I'd take that.
Okay, we're into race number 9. This is the Louisiana Legends Turf Stakes. Purse is $100,000. It's for accredited Louisiana-bred 3-year-olds and upward. Your morning line favorite is in post number 1. That is Carly's Dream, trained by Karen Jacks and ridden by Emmanuel Nieves. And that horse is 2-1 on the Evangeline Downs morning line. And Joe, you got first pick.
Oh, goody. I get to fire first. Give me 5 Woods and Water. Horse won last time out on the grass in his first attempt at 4 years old to try the turf for the first time and run probably his best race ever. He was 16-1 that day, so nobody really gave him much of a chance. But he's won six, three of his starts this year, and he actually finished first in another start and got disqualified to third. I think the horse is just blossoming into a good horse. At age 4, that tends to happen. He won his turf debut at Evangeline Down, so they're wheeling him right back. 2 weeks later, um, not asking him to work in between. They're just going to say, okay, we're going to ride this. Obviously, the jockey trainer combination is a good one. 3 for 9 this year at Evangeline Downs, and overall 23% with a 2.60 ROI overall this year with that Tommy Pompel jockey combination. So I will take 6-1 on Woods and Water if I can get it. 2-5. Rich.
Well, I finally get to pick. That's actually my backup horse. So at least I get to pick a horse that wasn't at least initially chosen. I'm going to take a shot with Big Chopper. I'm hoping that he's going to stay in this race. This horse is cross-entered. He's in the next race as well. But I'm hoping that they give him the shot here on the turf. He is. This is the same combination I played earlier: Scott Geiner and C.J. McMahon. And once again, yes, I do know that sire, Shackelford. And he has been a productive sire on both the dirt and the turf. But I looked there at those two little turf race or those little stakes races, I guess you would call from the fairgrounds. One was a 1 mile affair. The other one was a 5.5 furlong turf. So he actually showed some versatility there in handling both the short sprint and the medium range one. And he got wins in both those, both by a nose. Just was able to hold on. One was an 8 horse field. The other was a 9 horse field. So again, nice competition, a good sire. I was comfortable then by the time I got to this race with that trainer jockey combination. CJ McMahon and Scott Geiner, they don't look like they get together a whole lot, but they do hit, you see they're the small size 25% together. Again, if this horse stays in this race, he is my top choice as number 3. If not, I will end up probably pivoting to Joe's horse, the 5. With that, let me go ahead and I will hand off to Steve.
Yeah, I went with the same horse as Joe, the 5, Woods and Water. Bad for all the same reasons Joe picked out. Won 4 of his last 5s, won the last one on turf. So, and hopefully he can keep it up. So I'm going Woods and Water. Ray?
Yeah, well, you know what? That was my horse.
It's still early.
It's early.
You don't want to make it a hat trick?
I'm gonna stay with him. I'm not gonna change. He likes to, he likes to win. Like everybody else said, you know, 3, 4 out of 6, whatever. And different tracks. Really ran well on the turf. So if he stays on the turf and should do well. I mean, same jockey. This guy Lee Thomas, he got a good percentage, for the meet for the year. So seems like he plays his horses well. So they don't get bet, but that's good for us. If he shows up and wins, we're gonna get a good price. 6-1 money line. We won at 16-1, 3-1. So yeah, Woods and Water for me. What the hell? If Rich has his way, he'll be on Woods and Water also, and we'll be
No,
a
not
single.
that's
Then the horse has
If that
no
horse
chance with all 4 of us on his back. No way.
if
that's
that horse
no.
scratches out,
I was
so
gonna say that's not my way, man.
uh,
I want yeah. I see switching to me. All
hey,
right,
put it this way, he's undefeated on the turf. Okay, for now.
five,
So.
five,
Now.
3.
Um,
All right, this is the final race of tonight's tournament or tonight's racing day, if you like to call it that. This will be race number 10. They're going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. This is the Louisiana Legends Sprint Stakes. Purse is $100,000 for accredited 3-year-olds. Louisiana bred 3-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is in post number, I believe it's in post number 8. I think this is Big Chopper one more time, which is why I'm hoping he ends up in the turf race. He is 5-2 on the morning line. Again, trained by Scott Geiner and ridden by C.J. McMahon. I'm going to get first shot at this one and to show you that I really am trying to put my faith in that other race. I did use him as my backup choice just in case he ends up here. But my primary one is going to be Mike J, trained by Tom Lee and ridden by Tom Pompel. That combination actually is good for 33% with 9 starts. They've got a little bit of a better combination. Again, I do know who Sky Mesa is, so I was kind of back to those sires again that I liked. I couldn't quite find as many in this particular race as I found in the other races. And this horse has a good running line there. If you look at everything that's here from January of 23 going forward, really. Not all wins, nothing sensational like that, but the horse has been successful. A third, a first, and then another third and a first against competition that's probably comparable to what we're seeing here. Fairgrounds, Evangeline Downs. Again, looks like a good trainer jockey combination. Again, appreciate the Sky Mesa being there, and the horse has been racing at only sprint levels, has 6 wins in 15 lifetime tries, and is actually 2 for 4 at this particular distance. So has finished behind Big Chopper before. Again, kind of hoping that Big Chopper ends up in the race ahead of this one, but if not, he'll be my backup pick to Mike J. 4. Steve?
Yeah, I was going just to the outside of the favorite with the 9 Black Sword at 5-1. The jockey trainer combination looks like a pretty good combination. 23% over 13 races. Jockey's 21% winning percentage with sprints. And the horses won 4 times here at Evangeline Downs, including last time out. And has also got 5 wins at the distance. Some nice workouts. I think a pretty solid pick at 5-1 with the 9 here with Black Sword.
Yeah, good on.
Great.
I'm gonna go for I did like Mike J, but I'm gonna get a little audible here. I'm gonna go number 1, X Clown on the rail. Uh, just got claimed. This horse, trainer looks like he does well after claims, 29%. Riley Magdon, um, David Magdon, the rides, and been struggling at the meet, the jockey, but overall for the year, he has some good figures, 15%, 19%. So, um, beat a sprint, beat on the rail, might get a good trip. He's due to win. He hasn't won since last year, but it looks like he's been running some, a lot of the horses that are running in this race. So, maybe the post position give him a better trip. And he's actually 4 out of 6 at the exacta at Evangeline Down. So, he's 6 years old. We got a lot of starts, but let's see if we can get a good price anyway. So, I need money. So, X Clown for me.
Problem really is if the horse don't win, you don't get any money. The price doesn't matter.
I know.
Let's finish his third or 12th. It makes no difference whether it's 8-1 or 8-1.
That's true.
But anyway, I'm on the same horse. I like Black Sword. He's got the speed on the outside. He's going to be able to stay close to the face. If you saw, he beat some of the same horses he's running against last time, X Clown and Big Chopper, in basically what amounts to the same race. He had an outside post that day. Got the outside post again today. He's got 4 wins over the track. And if they're going to give me 5-1 after only getting 2-1 last time, sign me up. Give me the 9, Black Sword.
All right, let's get in there and do the final. Everybody take a look at your numbers. Make sure I've got all your picks in there correctly.
Yes, sir.
4.
Yep.
Everything look good?
Yep.
All right. You stop sharing my screen. I will come back to you, and we'll go ahead and put a wrap on this one. Folks, that's how we do it. That's how we kind of make the sausage, so to speak, here on Tournament Horse Racing. Each and every week, we show up, we pick out our 4 races, and again, whoever wins the most money out of those 4 races is going to be the winner of today's racing day. As you saw, Steve's kind of in the lead here for the tournament. Got me and Ray and Joe trying to track him down. I think we've got about 4 or 5 racing days left in this particular tournament, and that's plenty of time to go ahead and catch him. For anybody who's wondering and looking out there, we do use the Brisnet Racing Forum during this. That's what's being shown to you on my computer. Those are available out there at brisnet.com. You can go out there and sign up for a subscription, or if you're a member at twinspires.com, those racing forums are available for free if you choose to bet at the racetrack that you buy the forums for. All right, guys, you got anything that you want to add here? Next week, we will be at Belmont Park in New York City. Third leg of the Triple Crown. I see Ray's got his arms up in the air and things like that. We're back into his neck of the woods next week. Wrap up this Triple Crown.
One of the best
General
cards of
admission
the
is
year.
$40.
Yeah, Joe's
One of
got
the
it
best
there.
Inflation,
cards of
brother.
the year,
Inflation.
for sure.
$40. General admission.
Other than
Call
other
it
than
inflation.
other than the Breeders' Cup, you'd be hard pressed to find as good a day
Yeah,
in
I
racing
mean,
as. There's a couple at Saratoga.
Derby's good. I mean, well, it's funny because everybody does this now. I mean,
They loaded up.
the Travers card is
Yeah,
good. The
load up,
Haskell
yeah.
card is good.
Yeah.
You know,
But what we
all the
see, I mean,
preview days for Breeders' Cup, not just Breeders' Cup Day, but all the, the first or second week of October. A lot of places do this.
yeah.
But I
Belmont
mean,
Day is
Belmont
still
has like, is it like 6th grade ones or something like that
Yeah,
on
yeah.
right.
Yep.
Saturday?
Sixth grade ones in
Crazy
one
like
day.
that.
Then the next 3 weekends you can't find a steak race.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's gone.
because everybody's waiting for Saratoga or going to Monmouth for 3 days.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
They'll go to the Haskell for Monmouth, and then they'll wait for the Travers.
Yeah, no, similar
Saratoga
Saturday.
Actually,
after that.
tomorrow's is a derby that nobody ever talks about. The Jersey Derby.
Well,
The Jersey
yeah,
Derby.
that's true.
$100,000.
The other thing, I mean, I guess on July 4th, don't they run the Belmont Derby? Is Belmont Derby?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
believe it's the
They run
Belmont.
Yeah.
I think we usually have that.
some
With
kind
the
of
Manhattan, yeah, all that, stuff like that, yeah.
yeah, on July 4th. They July 4th weekend is usually a big one at Belmont too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, no, but bar none, you can put Belmont's card up against it.
All right. Well, again, for Steve Newsom and for Ray Torado and for Joe English, my name is Rich Sharp. Our show is called Tournament Horse Racing. We're on weekly. Thank you, everybody. I hope everybody plays tomorrow. Good night. Good luck.
L'chaim.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.